welcome back to another JCT Talks podcast.
In today's episode, we'll be interviewing the music artist known as St. Arnaud.
Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And this is the last week to enter in our October tea giveaway.
Now on to the podcast.
So today we're going to be interviewing Ian St. Arnaud. Hello, Ian.
Hello.
So I'm going to start off with a question, and that is, what inspired you to start your band?
Well, I was in a band before that I started in high school that I was probably about 16 or 17. And we did that for a long time, maybe 4, 5 years. No, maybe 2, 3 years. Anyway, I played with some really good friends of mine just for fun. And then we decided to take it more seriously. And my bandmate passed away really quickly in an accident. And we kind of convinced each other this is what we were going to do. So I kind of reflected for a little while and decided, well, this is still what I want to do. So I started this new project and wrote some songs about that. And then that's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, your music is really good, and it's awesome.
Thanks. Glad you like it.
So to start your band, what obstacles did you have to overcome?
Well, it's really tough for anybody to find out that you're even doing it in the first place. So you can write songs at home in your bedroom, but you kind of need a chance to show it off. And I've never really been very good at YouTube. I'm really trying to figure it out and trying to build my audience on there and everything. But you need to kind of convince people in your community that you'd be okay to play shows, and maybe hopefully they'll give you a little bit of money to do it or whatever. But a lot of it's just in your own brain, like having confidence to show up and do it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thanks.
So what's your favorite song that you've made, and what's your all-time favorite song?
Okay, my favorite song that I've made, honestly, I still have a ton of fun playing. It's called Morning Dreamers. That's probably my favorite one to play. I just really like how it feels, how it kind of shifts, just like a rhythm thing. That's probably my favorite song to play, and my favorite song, like my favorite song ever. That's tough. I gotta like honestly think about it for a second. What's your favorite song ever?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I like a lot of music. I do enjoy listening to your music. It's very good. And so yeah, now I see how hard that question really is.
Yeah, it's tricky. Okay, I'm gonna choose one. There's a band I like called Parquet Courts. It's Parquet, like Parquet, and they have a song I've really liked for a while called Tenderness. It's a really good one. Highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I will definitely check that out. Do you have any regrets in your music career?
Do I have any regrets? Not so far, no. Sometimes it gets expensive. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my money, which means, I've kind of decided this is my full-time thing. So lots of the time I'll have to like find jobs to work on the side. And sometimes you're like, oh, I could have saved $100 there, and that could have been used somewhere else, or I could have had more groceries this week or something like that. But generally, no, it's really fun to just roll the dice and see what happens. Like I'm gonna go drive over to New York and see what happens. And no, it's really fun. Sometimes it works out. That's worth it.
I really like that mindset.
Thanks. I do too. You kind of need it, I think.
Yeah, mindset's very important.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea of your TED Talks?
I was talking to my brother. So you guys might be familiar. My younger brother is a YouTuber as well, and he's probably how you even know about me in the first place. We decided to work together on a music video, and that music video went out on his channel where, you know, he has lots of subscribers. And that's a world I always felt too old. I'm 25, and I know that that's not very old in the grand scheme of things, but he really grew up on YouTube and I didn't. So we were talking about, like, you know, oh no, like all these live shows, which is what I really love to do, to travel around to new places and meet people there. They all really shut down really quickly with COVID, obviously. So we were looking for a way to engage people, have a way to like talk back and forth. And I wanted a way to like show off some of my friends who I have lots of respect for, like musicians mostly, who I could like talk to on there and talk to about how they're creative people, and hopefully learn something myself and show people, like, well, how does it work as you get a little bit older and you face obstacles in a career? How do you make it a career? So my brother's idea to do it, and I thought, well, I can just talk to my friends on it. That would be great.
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean, Tub Talks is awesome, and it's awesome that you started that.
Thanks.
So how has COVID-19 affected your music career?
Oof. I don't want to, I try not to dwell on it too much, but we were having a pretty good spring, I would say, all things considered. We were, I kind of toured Canada as soon as, you know, so January and February, you can't really go anywhere too far because it's too cold. Where do you live, roughly?
Virginia, so like Richmond?
Yep. Okay, so it's probably a lot warmer there most of the time, but that's super cool. I love that we're talking. Virginia to Alberta right now, which is I'm north of the northwest of the U.S. So in the winter, it's kind of too dangerous to drive anywhere. So you plan a lot of things for as soon as the snow kind of goes away. So March, we were touring the western provinces. We got to go into Washington State. We got invited to go to a festival in New York, and we were supposed to go to one in Europe the following week. And then we got invited with a bigger band to tour Canada, at least half of Canada, where they would bring out a crowd, you know? So we could just kind of show up and play our stuff for their crowd. We wouldn't really have to worry too much about bringing our own. So we were hitting a really hot streak, I'd say. So COVID ended all of that very quickly. We got to go to New York, which was great. That's so far away from me, and to be invited there was cool. But we also had to watch it shut down over a weekend, which was like a zombie movie. So it really put a damper on things. But I can write now, and I can plan for the next time.
Yeah, that's crazy, but it's good that you were able to have a very good head start before COVID-19.
Yeah, you kind of just got to be thankful for what you did get to do and trust that it'll come back eventually, and so you can just plan for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So going into singing and starting your own band, what did you expect to come?
What did I expect to come? It was a way for me at first to kind of just heal. My friend who passed away, we were living together, and we kind of had this house where, you know, it was my first time living on my own, and we were really excited to be able to live there and kind of have a space dedicated to making music. So for a while, I just really expected to be able to like get that message out and be like, hey, here's I didn't get to put out the songs that we wrote together on it, but I did get to write songs about how I felt. And I thought, you know, oh, wow, at best, maybe I'll get to go play for this festival that we have here in my city in Edmonton, this folk festival, which is great. It's a big event. There's 20,000 people all on a big hill watching you. And I got to do that. And I thought, wow, great. Like, I've kind of done it. Like, I did what I said I hoped I could do. But then you're like, well, I could keep going. I could keep doing more, and maybe more people want to hear this, and maybe I could have a lot of fun moving forward with this. So that's what I did.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, having a dream to sing and then doing it must feel so amazing.
Yes, it does lots of the time. Other times it is also very hard. You're like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? All my friends have salaries now, and you know, we all went to university and they're using those degrees, and I'm kind of like, well, I'll figure it out. So it's risky, but good.
So, who and what has helped you along the way to start your music career?
Ooh, a lot of really lovely people. He's now my manager, which I'm super grateful for. But my good friend Liam was working for a festival in Calgary, which is the city to my south. There's kind of two cities. There's Edmonton and Calgary. Calgary's probably a little more well known, but it's a 3-hour drive between them. And he lived down there, and I put out my first single. It was called Dark Horse. And I put out Morning Dreamers, and then I was planning this album, and he kind of thought, well, hey, why don't we work together? We're good friends. And he knew a lot of things I didn't know. So just like putting videos out on YouTube, if you don't really tell anybody about them, well, they'll probably sit there for forever with 100 views. So you need other ways to get people to pay attention and to care. Otherwise, you kind of just get lost in it. So I had Liam help me out a whole lot. I had my other bandmate from my old project. His name's Will. He knew a lot more about business, so he was there to help me make sure I didn't waste all my money. And I had all my family and friends who were really excited for me to keep doing this. People could have just been like, maybe you shouldn't do this, but nobody did that. Everybody was really supportive.
That's really cool, and I'm very happy that people were able to support you through it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what advice would you give to like young musicians or bands?
I would say this is something I'm learning now, but more is better. Keep writing and keep writing more, and then ultimately you want the ability to choose your best stuff to show anybody, to show whoever. Secondly is find somebody to work with, because they're going to have ideas that you don't, and that might be like musically or creatively, but it also might just be like, well, they have friends that you don't. So if you want to show this off and you want to tell people about it, well, that's going to be really helpful. Oh, sorry. Work with people, because there's people out there who have the same dream as you, and if you can work together, you're going to get a lot more done. And be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. I'm kind of like, well, who am I? I think I'm just like a friendly guy, and I hope I can write a sweet little song that I hope people like. And I don't think it's not ever going to be Miley Cyrus, like top 40 stuff, but I hope somebody out there likes it, and you'll find your audience. That's it. You'll find your audience.
That is great advice, and yeah, finding an audience definitely takes time. And you have a really awesome little audience. Sometimes some smaller bands can have a way better audience than some, more popular artists out there.
Yeah, and you just have to trust it.
So, who is your favorite artist, and how did they inspire you?
My favorite artists, well, there's lots. Sometimes there's like people, so I'm in Canada, and Canada is kind of like a big small town versus the US, which is like, the home of music and entertainment and all that stuff. It's the holy grail. So there's kind of heroes at different levels. Just like, okay, so you guys want to, I'm not saying you think I'm your hero, but you're talking to me on here, and I don't have a big following, but hopefully we can teach each other something. But then you might also be a big fan of, I don't know, Cardi B, and want to know what's going on with her too. So in Canada, I have a couple heroes. There's somebody who I love, both as a person and as a musician. Her name's Charlotte Cornfield, and I just think she's so good. She lives in Toronto, and I really love looking at her career and kind of hoping that mine works like that. There's another guy here out in Vancouver, West Coast, named Dan Mangan, who I also really look up to. And yeah, those are people who I try to look at more directly and try to figure out how do they move forward and how do they build this. And I think I could be something like them.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I like it how you look up to them.
Oh, totally. I also look up to my brother, which is a really funny thing because I'm 25 and he's 22, maybe he just turned 23. And it's weird. For the first time in my life, I'm like, career-wise, like I'm like really looking up to my little brother, but he's built this thing out of nowhere, and like truly just on his own. And so I'm trying to learn from him all the time too.
Yeah, that's awesome how you can look up to people, and like people that are really popular that a lot of people look up to, they also look up to people. I mean, that's how they got to where they are today, because you always have to look up to somebody and push yourself further and further.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good thing to look at people and yeah, and try to figure out, well, how do they get there? Maybe they can help you. Maybe you can talk to them.
Yeah, so my final question actually is, what do you enjoy doing in your free time, like now?
I think YouTubers do this too, and I know my brother definitely does it. And free time is a really funny thing when your hours are kind of your own to begin with. So like I know lots of the time I just sit around and I go, why aren't I writing music right now? So it's really hard to enjoy yourself when you feel like you do have free time. But I got to tell you, I really like playing Warzone, and I really like reading books. And I'm living in a really lovely house right now with a really good friend of mine, and we just hang around and chat a lot. So life is really small, I think, for lots of people right now because of COVID. So definitely not going out and seeing many people, but in my free time, I like to just relax and talk to my friend and play video games.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I know that I'm pretty sure you started TeaTalks during quarantine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I know during quarantine you definitely have a lot more free time than you normally did. But I mean, me and Jake started a podcast, and it's fun doing that. I mean,
That's super cool.
I count filming a podcast my free time. I mean, it's just so fun to film, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I would say, I also want to say I'm also trying to learn how to produce music on my own, which is like going from trying to be a talk show host to being the one who edits and records and directs it all, which is like a big step for me. So I'm using Ableton is what I'm trying to learn how to record and make all my music in. So I got my mic here, my keyboard here, I got my studio monitor speakers, my interface. So I'm really trying to learn a lot about the hard skills on how to do this too.
That's a great setup. That's super cool. Thanks for showing that to us.
Oh, no problem. I'm just at my little desk.
So my final question is, what was your favorite class in school as a kid and why?
Well, I always liked science. I did always love science. Like some of the other classes might have been more fun, or you might have had a cool teacher, but generally like year through year, year after year, I liked all the science courses. So in high school, you kind of got to first split into which, physics, chemistry, and biology, and I took them all, and I liked them all. And then I went into university, and I thought, I'm going to get a science degree, which I did. I got a neuroscience degree, which I'm not using at all right now. And so I really loved science. That was my thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also really like science.
Nice. It helps you understand the world a lot. Even just day to day, you think about things differently. Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's really cool. And this was an awesome interview. I mean, you're very interesting and you have awesome music. Yeah, I mean, do you want to share anything with the viewers?
Do I want to share anything? don't beat yourself up too hard. If you want to try something new, just be patient with yourself and you will get better in anything you practice. That's about it.
Yeah, I like that. That's very inspirational. So that'll wrap up our interview. Thank you very much for coming out today and talking with us.
Well, thanks guys for having me on.
Thank you to St. Arnaud for coming out today. We had a great time filming with you. Thanks for coming out.
So, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to go into the description. We will have St. Arnaud's Instagram down there. We also have our Instagram where we update you on our episodes and we give you special bloopers. Now, Callum, would you like to talk about our awesome giveaway happening?
Yes, but before we do that, St. Arnaud's Spotify will also be there so you can listen to his amazing music. And yes, so our giveaway, it's a Zesta Tea giveaway, as you can see, where you can win yourself some awesome Zesta Tea. The link will be in the description. You just have to fill out the form and then submit it, and then you're entered in the giveaway.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.